New York is the city that never sleeps, and neither does Sal Licata. From Flushing in the Bronx to the Meadowlands and MSG, Sal sounds off on the biggest sports news of the day. Welcome to WFAN Daily with Sal Licata.
It's not Sal Licata, it's Pete Hoffman again filling in for him on WFAN Daily Live as both the New York Yankees and the New York Mets lose tonight. The Yankees 3-2 to the Reds. The Mets, unfortunately, 7-5 to the Nationals as they blow a 5-0 lead. But I begged the question earlier today, and it seemed to get a lot of attention and heat coming its way. And it is around the Juan Soto free agency period. Because here's the reality. These two teams right now are going in opposite directions, even though they both lost tonight. The Yankees seem like they're spiraling downhill. You go through what the last 30 days have been offensively. There's two players that stick out offensively for the New York Yankees that are just through the roof. It's Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. Aaron Judge has, let's go through his numbers, in the past 30 days. Aaron Judge, 15 home runs, 44 RBIs, a 393 average, a 496 on-base percentage, an 879 slugging. That equals about a 15, not a 1,500, but close to a 1,500 OPS, okay? It's pretty ridiculous. It's about 1,400. Then you go to Juan Soto, who has 6 home runs, 18 RBIs, about 280, 493 on-base percentage, 538 slugging. Again, over 1,000 OPS. You look at the Yankees, what they have done offensively over the past 30 days. And this is what we're focusing on right now, because this is what this team has been. The beginning half of the season, they were closer to this. They were playing closer to this way. They just happened to be winning games. Unfortunately, now they are not. They're losing close games. They're getting blown out. There's a lot of issues with the New York Yankees. And obviously right now, why would my internet be working? Why would it be working? I just had all the stats up, but now it's not there. But regardless, 35 or 34 home runs right now in the past 30 games, which my math, if Soto has 6 home runs and Judge has 15 home runs, that's 21 home runs, which means the other 34 is they've hit like 10, 13. They've hit like 13 home runs in a span of 30 games collectively for the rest of the team in 30 days. It's not great. It's not ideal. You're looking at a team that is struggling right now offensively. Again, batting average has plummeted. The OPS has plummeted. It's down to, I think, 723 for the past 30 days. And that is with Juan Soto and Aaron Judge just completely going off the rails. The rest of the team is doing nothing. Now you look at the Mets. The Mets overall have been playing fantastic baseball. They've gotten themselves out of the gutter. They were 11 games under 500, and now they're back to being 500. Yes, they've been a little bit up and down the past couple of weeks. Last week, I'd say, with the Astros, and now with the Nationals. They lose a game today. But the point is this team is now being a collective unit. You have Lindor, who is now one of the best shortstops in baseball, reminding you why he is who he was when they traded for him. And the fact is, the guy, since being the leadoff hitter, has stepped up completely. His numbers are incredible. Pete Alonso, Mark Vientos, JD Martinez go up and down the lineup. It is 1 through 8 because Jeff McNeil sucks, stepping up. If I had to tell you, if I had to take a guess right now of the team coming offseason that needs Juan Soto more, it's the New York Yankees, because there are so many holes to fill. There are so many holes to fill on the New York Yankees. If you lose a piece like Juan Soto, you're that worse off. You have Anthony Rizzo, who's not going to come back. You have DJ LeMahieu that you've got to find a way to cut ties with. Your catching situations is rubbish right now. You have Gleyber Torres, who is not going to be back. He's going to be a free agent. But guess what? Let me just for all the people that are happy that Gleyber Torres is not coming back next year, because again, let's be honest with you, we all know he's not doing that great this year. The free agent class for next year is nothing to write home about, unless you're moving Anthony Volpe to second base and bringing up somebody else to play shortstop, or bringing in somebody else to play shortstop. Which, by the way, there's not many shortstops on the market either. Your second base options are Gleyber Torres, Brandon Lau, Hae-Sung Kim, Whit Merrifield, Wilmer Flores, Jorge Polanco, Brandon Crawford, Brandon Drury, Adam Frazier. Okay? And there's some club options, mutual options mixed in there too. So not everyone may be available. Who are we talking about that the Yankees are going to come in and replace Gleyber Torres? Now, I understand Gleyber Torres hasn't been that great this year, but still, historically, he has been a lot better than all the names we just mentioned. Then you have third base. Again, it's a dry market. Oh, you're going to get Alex Bregman? Or are you going to go out and get Alex Bregman? There are so many holes on, and then Verdugo's gone too, potentially, unless you're going to keep him too. Unless you go out and make trades and find other options, you're very limited in the free agent market. And again, you're going to be spending most of your money in Juan Soto if you do get him. Now, the Mets, on the other hand, we've just talked about how, yeah, JD Martinez may not come back. Okay, fine. Starling Marte, and maybe they'd get rid of Jeff McNeil. Harrison Bader, is he going to be back for center field? Probably not. Tyrone Taylor, those type of guys. But you still have a core of, let's put it this way. Say they re-sign Pete Alonso, okay? Say they re-sign Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Mark Vientos, Francisco Alvarez, Brandon Nimmo. Five guys. I'm assuming that they will eventually bring up one of these young kids, whether it's Ronnie Mauricio, Jet Williams, Luis Angel Acuna. I'm assuming that one of these young kids are coming up. And that's the positive about these. I know who the Mets are coming up, who are bringing up. I don't know who the Yankees are going to be calling up. And everyone's already out there. Like, all these spots are already filled in the outfield. If you think about it, you already got Aaron Judge. If Stan's playing, he plays in the outfield. Dominguez plays the outfield. Verdugo's outfield. Who? If you get Cody Bellinger, is he outfield? I mean, I feel like everything is outfield. What about the infield? You need to replace those people. Spencer Jones, outfielder. Every ounce of talent that the Yankees have is all pushed out to the outfield. And yet, the major signing they're going to get next year, if they get him, is Juan Soto, who, guess what, is an outfielder. It's a surplus of talent. Great. But it doesn't even out the team, which is part of the problem. They're going to have to cut ties with somebody. Whether they bring back Juan Soto or not, you have to consider Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez to be collateral damage in a trade sooner than later. You're not going to be able to just continuously play Soto, Judge, and Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez in the outfield. You just can't do it. There's too many guys. You need to, and you want to put somebody at first base. I mean, Aaron Judge looks at, trains at first base once a season, and it's like, oh, look, there he is taking ground balls again. Maybe he'll step in. You've got to do more. I think, honestly, right now, the most desperate team to get Juan Soto or needs Juan Soto are the Yankees. And I'll tell you one more thing, too. When we're talking about payroll, when we're talking about all of this stuff, the Mets are going to be in competition. They have no problem spending the money. But I think when it comes down to it, they don't have to. They have no need to go out there and give $500 million, $600 million to a guy like Juan Soto. Just take this offseason, for example. This offseason, you had two pitchers in Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery, which everyone begged to go out and get. And they've been terrible. David Stearns, if he's the guy that I trust, and I do, I think if next year he'll find the replacements for Juan Soto. He'll find a better version of Juan Soto that comes in cheaper, whether it's trade bait or whatever. Whether it's a Luis Robert, which I don't think is the guy to go to, because you just see he's going to be issues in the outfield as well. Juan Soto, amazing player, but he's got his downsides too. And you're going to spend all that type of money on him to clog up your payroll. It's unnecessary. It is unnecessary. So if I am Steve Cohen, let the Yankees go and overspend on him. Jack up the pay, the payout. Jack up his pay rate. Offer him a little bit more. Make the Yankees go all in. Make the Yankees go crazy to get him and bring him back because they need to. The Mets don't need to do it. They are in a much better situation. Again, the farm system, the core that everyone's been dying for them to get rid of, the core is not the problem. Yes, they played like crap the first month or two of the season, but they are not the problem. When they are clicking, this is who they are. They are a team that can come back from 11-game deficit and be back to 500. And listen, let's be serious right now. The Mets have a spot where 11 games before the All-Star break, okay? We're at a point where if they can go 6-5, that's perfect. Finish this before the All-Star break, just be over 500. That's all you need to do. The Yankees, they should find a way. I don't know how many games they have left. I think they have 9 games left, 9 or 10 games left. They have to find a way to be 6-4 or whatever the case is, be over 500, just because you cannot continue to lose games this way. You cannot continue to lose games to the Cincinnati Reds. You're losing games to Ashcroft and whoever else was on the mound. These pitchers are nothing to write home about. The bullpen is semi-okay, but you're losing to games to the Cincinnati Reds, who you should be murdering. Carlos Rodon has another game where it's just like, It was better than the previous ones. He didn't get shelled, but he's still not doing good. There are so many issues with the Yankees. And again, it all comes down to the two special players, Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. And without them, the Yankees feel like they're nothing. And that is why the Yankees need to go out and get Juan Soto and keep him as a Yankee for life. Also, there was also the All-Star voting happened, and there are 2 All-Stars. And guess who they are from New York? Currently, right now, the 2 All-Stars are Juan Soto, Aaron Judge. What a shocker. Listen, they're 2 of the best players in baseball right now. They are that good. They are that amazing. You can't take anything away from them. But it also means nothing to me at this point in time. Because at the end of the day, the biggest thing is about winning games, making it to the playoffs, get into the World Series. So, you know what? If this is just lights another firework or whatever under Francisco Lindor's butt, Pete Alonso's butt, that they missed out on an All-Star game again, good. Let them get antsy. Let them get pissed off. Let them go out there and say, you know what? I'm better than this. Pete Alonso still needs to make a huge contract. We look at the first, we talking about like second baseman to fill in Gleyber Torres before. First base, these are the options at first base. It ain't great. It's Paul Goldschmidt, who's had a down year. Pete Alonso, which we all know what's been going on with him. Hoskins, who has an opt-out, who hasn't really been performing great in Milwaukee. Anthony Rizzo, who looks spent. Josh Bell, Rowdy Tellez, Christian Walker, who is kind of similar to the Pete Alonsos of the world. Ryan O'Hearn and Carlos Santana. Not a great crop. We're not talking about, the Mark Teixeiras of the day being available. We're not talking about, Freddie Freeman being available. We're talking about the best first baseman being available might actually be or is Pete Alonso. That's it. And which is why he may get top dollar from some of these free agents, because he is maybe the most demanded first baseman out there. Listen, Josh Bell, Rowdy Tellez, you can say what you want about him. They're nowhere near what Pete Alonso can do in a season on the regular. Carlos Santana's having a good season. He's having a bounce-back season. But he's out of his prime. Christian Walker is someone who, again, like I said, similar numbers. But power-wise, Pete Alonso's been more consistent. So, yeah, I mean, listen, again, it doesn't make a difference about the All-Star game. It's more about popularity. I remember the days when the Yankees would basically every single position was a New York Yankee, where the Dodgers would have every position, where the Boston Red Sox would have every position. Now it's the Phillies. The Phillies are cleaning up. The Astros are cleaning up as always. There's all these teams that clean up. It's never the Mets. It will never be the Mets, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. If Severino or Lindor make the All-Star team, or Francisco Alvarez make the All-Star team as a backup alternate, or Mark Vientos, whatever. I mean, Trey Turner made the All-Star game. Guy missed 46 games. What does that even mean? He's done nothing, but he made it because it's popular. So, but listen, thank you for following. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing another episode of WFAN Daily. Again, Juan Soto, the biggest name in baseball going into this offseason. It is going to be a topic of conversation for the rest of the year as he continues on, as they get to the playoffs, as the Yankees get knocked out of the playoffs. Once free agency begins, again, he's going to go back to the main spotlight, and it's going to be about Juan Soto. And there is one team in New York that needs him more than anybody else, and that is the New York Yankees. Don't forget it. Remember it. Again, thank you again for watching, listening. It's Pete Hoffman with you on WFAN Daily. Follow me at HoffWFAN, and we'll see you guys. Happy 4th of July to everybody. So you might not see the WFAN dailies for a while. You might not see any type of live YouTube live for the couple days because we're going to be celebrating. But enjoy it. Be safe. Enjoy the holidays. And we will see you guys with BT and Sal. Definitely will be back on Monday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. See you guys there. Peace.